Admittedly, my partner in crime and I didn't start watching Stranger Things until 2 years ago because we were scared of the hype that was surrounding the show at the time. I think it boils down to us not being able to imagine a show as good as everyone was describing. Anyway, the last batch of season 4 episodes had just rolled out, and we knew it was going to be a bit before the final season came out. So, what better time than to start our Stranger Things journey? And man, were we wrong. From the very beginning, Stranger Things was fascinating, and the way the Duffer brothers were able to effortlessly blend the 80s with sci fi horror is incredible. From the very intricate design of the set to the more realistic dialogue, the tone of the characters that you'd expect from someone living during the 80s, the Duffer brothers knew how to get you immersed into the world of Stranger Things. We instantly fell in love with Hopper, Steve, Joyce, Nancy, Eleven, and the rest of the boys, but specifically Dustin, and the stories and character arcs that develop before our very eyes. We understand why Hopper is so protective over Eleven. We understand why Joyce is so afraid of letting Will take agency over his own life. And we understand why Eleven was able to fill the void in Mike's heart when Will disappeared into the Upside Down. We were officially caught up with the show during the summer of last year, and we were eagerly awaiting the final season. So we sat in the living room on Thanksgiving night and we watched volume 1 of the final season, and it was great. After almost 2 years of catching up and witnessing the stories and character arcs unfold, it was finally time to see how it would all end. We couldn't believe they finally let my boy fight back after all these seasons of getting straight up hoed by everything in the Upside Down and Vecna. That moment was so peak, and we couldn't wait for Volume 2 to release, and so we waited.
Many months later.
And with that being said, Volume 2 is done. And what did I do? Well, I made the mistake of going online for the first time to see what everyone thought. And man, media literacy is dead. I mean, I heard it all. From the show having lazy writing, the characters did nothing but sit in a room and plan, and probably the most baffling is claiming that Will's coming out speech to his friends and family was forced. I think we can tackle these one at a time. So let's start with the writing. One of the consistent complaints going around the internet is that the show's writing became lazy, and the characters were over explaining, and it felt like the show was holding your hand even tighter than it did before. Now, I'm not blind by any means. I definitely felt the shift in writing too, but if you didn't know, Hollywood companies have been telling writers and directors to dumb down the writing to make up for the fact that most people are scrolling on TikTok during most of the shows and movies. So when you hear characters explaining every single move they're about to make, it's by design. At first, when I was reading these articles a couple of months ago, I thought it was silly that Hollywood executives were even discussing this. But of course, judging by most of your takes, they were right. One of the complaints is that the characters did nothing but plan for 7 episodes. But you're acting as if half of the cast didn't get trapped inside the Upside Down because their plans kept failing in the first place. Not to mention, the show is taking place across a couple of days. How much do you really expect to happen in 2 to 5 days realistically? On to the most baffling complaint, Will's coming out speech. I've heard people say, why would Will choose now when the world is ending to come out to everyone? Well, perhaps if you put your phone down and listen to what these characters are telling you, you would know. I think that's my biggest gripe with the internet today. Everyone wants to be a critic, but fails to understand the most important part of being a critic, and that's being able to listen and understand what creators are telling you. I mean, Will literally spelled it out for you, and you still didn't understand. The whole point of Will coming out now and not later was because Vecna showed him a future where he was the one to tell everyone Will's secret, and because of it, everyone either straight up left him or they just became really distant. Will needed to prove to himself that those were just his fears and it wasn't real. But somehow most of you missed it, and quite frankly, making Will's coming out speech just another Hollywood agenda makes you sound really homophobic and that's just lame. I believe it's so important to think for yourself, to have the ability to form your own thoughts and opinions, but especially during this time, it feels all the more absent in our society. It's disappointing to hear that Hollywood executives think we're stupid, to the point that they have to dumb down everything and hold our hands because they think we're lost if they don't. I'm pleading with you all, put down your phones and just think. If you made it this far, it would mean a lot to us if you gave this video a like and subscribe to our channel. We have a few other videos that you might enjoy. They're longer and a bit more structured than this one. We will have more videos out soon. Thank you for watching.